For the supermarket assignment, we decided to analyze Metro on Gold Street. We chose this supermarket because it's close to Ryerson student housing and campus. As we walked into Metro, we noticed a strong presence in the color red, which in class we learned stimulated human hunger. Upon walking in, you are greeted with a sign that is promoting weekly meal deals. This is a tactic that is used to draw customers in and encourage buying. As soon as you walk through the sliding doors, a promotional sign of Miss Fresh is presented. This is a food subscription service that helps you cook a meal in under 30 minutes. This is most likely directed towards the student demographic in the area as it provides them with a quick meal. We chose to analyze the cereal aisle. The first thing we noticed when we came across this aisle was the use of bright colors, specifically red, orange, and yellow, which we know, as previously stated, stimulates human hunger. Also, the cereals are found to be organized from least healthiest to the most. Upon entering the aisle, we were met with many options, or so we thought. With a little research, we found that 91% of cereal is owned by 4 companies, and we found this to be prevalent within this metro location. Here you can see that a large majority of the options available come from Kellogg's or General Mills. This gives consumers the illusion of choice when in reality they only have about 4 different brands to choose from. At the front of the aisle, we noticed the use of the boutiquing method, where foods that go together are placed near each other. Right across from the cereal was a display of a variety of soy and almond beverages, so consumers can easily grab it with their cereal and go. We noticed alternative breakfast items like jams and spreads placed in the same fashion. This encourages impulse buying, as we learned it only takes the consumer about 7 seconds to make a decision. As we analyzed the shelves deeper, we noticed that most of the children's and unhealthy cereals were placed together on the last 2 shelves. These cereals used lots of bright colors and big lettering. Oftentimes, they also included cartoon characters. This is intentionally done to attract children, who often influence the purchase decision of parents. We also noticed that brands were kept together. For example, Cheerios were placed side by side on the lower shelves and then again at eye level. This is done to not only get the attention of children, but their parents too. Additionally, the Cheerios that were marketed to be healthy, such as the multigrain Cheerios, were placed at eye level for adults, whereas the flavored Cheerios were placed on the lower shelves for children. As we moved down the aisle, we noticed that children's cereals were removed altogether and replaced by seemingly healthy options. We believe a reason for this can be due to location. As this metro is located in a student hub, it can be assumed that the consumer demographic consists of more adults than children. Upon analyzing these healthy options, we realized that many of these cereals were not healthy at all. Many times cereals were labeled as GMO-free, however contain ingredients such as corn and soy, which we know from the readings are 2 highly genetically modified crops. Therefore, it cannot be guaranteed that these ingredients are 100% GMO-free due to the way in which they are grown. Kashi, which is a brand under Kellogg's, is marketed as a healthy alternative, GMO-free cereal. However, we can see from the ingredient list that they use multiple corn and soy components. When looking at nutrition facts, we wanted to compare a popular cereal to its healthy alternative. First, we looked at Kellogg's Corn Flakes. We found that a serving of 1 cup contained 3 grams of sugar. We then compared this to Kellogg's brand Special K, which is marketed as a healthy line extension. We found that for a serving of 3/4 of a cup, there were 8 grams of sugar. As consumers, we found it disheartening that one might think they are making a healthy decision when in reality they are consuming the same amount, if not more sugar, than if they were to purchase regular cornflakes. As we were analyzing the cereal aisle and its consumers, we observed an interesting scenario. A mother came by with her 2 children trying to decide on which cereal to buy. They spent at least 5 minutes going back and forth as all the options at arm's reach for the children were not approved by the mother. Eventually, the mother made their decision, which came from the top shelf, unable to be seen by her children.
Our tour of Metro will definitely change our future experiences when we shop at other supermarkets. We learned that as soon as we step foot into a supermarket, we're all being manipulated as consumers. We shop at supermarkets for an obvious reason, to spend money. When we entered Metro, we could tell that the store was set up in carefully thought out ways in order to expose us to as many products as possible. This can be helpful since we can stumble upon products we actually need but weren't originally looking for. But even if it can help us shop better, it's intentionally designed to make it easy for us to spend more money. Next time you go shopping and you wonder how you ended up spending so much money on groceries when you only came in for milk and eggs, just know that's what consumers like Metro intend on happening because they are masters of manipulating consumer habits. From this, we learn that in order to control our spending habits, it's best if we just stick to a list. The best way to avoid impulse buying is to create a shopping list, or you can skip shopping at supermarkets altogether and visit smaller stores. Supermarkets like Metro are able to afford strategizing in order to increase sales, while smaller shops or convenience stores aren't. And as a result, smaller stores are more straightforward with how they operate.
So, what surprised our team the most about the Reading the Supermarket tour? The most surprising thing about our Reading the Supermarket tour was that the aisle 4 dry goods chapter explained that corn, after sugarcane, is the most commonly grown crop. Corn and soy are found in most every product, such as the chemicals that give some of our produce their sheen, like cucumbers. We also learned that corn and soy are used in everyday products, such as the shopping bags that we use to take our goods home. We didn't expect to see that soy and corn were used for many of the products as opposed to the ones we were eating. What were our expectations before entering the cereal aisle, and how did they change after we left? Prior to entering the cereal aisle, we did expect to find many of the children's cereals on the lower shelves at eye level for them, and to have the cereals that were deemed more for adults on the higher shelves at eye levels for them as well. We were surprised that we didn't get to see many of the children's cereal varieties that we were expecting to see. However, we did see that those children's cereals were on the shelves that were lower. Also, just because a cereal says it does not use GMOs does not mean that it's the true case, because we did notice that the ingredients said that there were soy and corn, and also that the cereals that were deemed to be healthier did contain a lot more sugar than we expected. Do we agree or disagree with the information presented about the cereal aisle in the text? Yes, because although we were taught that GMOs are able to help grow more crops and decrease hunger levels, the text did explain how genetic modification causes more problems than it solves. GMOs are shown to have possible health risks such as allergic reactions and also the beginning of an antibiotic resistance.
Something we noticed as we were leaving Metro was a Salvation Army Food Bank's donation barrel. Although being placed after the cash register seems ideal for consumers to drop one of their purchases in, we only actually noticed it on our second round of the store after we saw someone placing items in the barrel. Additionally, this Metro offered consumers the option to purchase a bag of food, which Metro will then donate to a local food bank. However, these bags are placed at the exit as well. As consumers, we felt this to be inefficient. If someone decides they want to buy the bag, they must walk through the entire store again to get to checkout. However, from a marketing standpoint, this gives consumers another chance to walk through the store and possibly make impulse purchases. In conclusion, we were surprised as consumers at the lack of diversity within the cereal aisle and the harsh reality that cereals which are advertised as healthy are not such great options after all. We realized that making a healthy choice isn't as easy as the companies make it out to seem, and that as consumers we need to take more time in learning about the products we choose to purchase and the brands we choose to support.